Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live. I am Heather. We come to you live each and every day so you can hear about LUMINESS, ask questions, see it being done. Obviously, I start with no makeup on, and then we go through all the ways you can airbrush, the steps you can learn about airbrushing, because it's very important to keep in mind that once, I know a lot of you want the system, if they are thinking about buying the system, maybe you've purchased and you haven't, and it's gotten to your house, but you haven't even opened it yet. And so just know they're putting airbrush makeup on is different. So when you get it, don't put it on like traditional makeup. It's not the same. And so that's why we do these lives. We want to be there for you every step of the way so you learn how to airbrush. You learn how to luminesce. Once you do it the correct way, you will freak if you can be airbrushed. So just know that there is that little bit of a learning curve, but that's why we're here for you. That's why we are always here. We're doing these lives so you can watch in the background. That's fine, or you can ask questions as well. So every time we do these, good morning, Cindy. Every time we do these, we do go over the basics. We go over the beginnings, and it's very important that when you do get a system, don't worry about it, like maybe you got it when it was a free gift. Now that we have the holidays coming up, I'm sure there'll be gifts attached, and you might have the opportunity to purchase more items, but get airbrushing down, get the foundation down, because once you have that down, everything else is easy because it's applied the same way. So just worry about the airbrush so you can get that down, and the foundation, and then we can figure out the steps. Okay. Hope that makes sense. All right. So let's go over real quick, like what these are. This is one of our kits. This is the Icon. We also have the Icon Pro and the Legend. And then of course, now we have our Breeze, which is cordless and chargeable, which is amazing. So we have different systems to do whatever you need it to do. And so they're at different price points. And so you just pick the one that is right for you. It all comes with makeup. It all comes with the 2 bottles of foundation, which are similar in color, but they are different. And then we give you Love and Blush. And then our blush is super high pigmented. It does a bloom. And so you're only going to be using about 2 drops of the blush. And then with the Love is a hydrating illuminator, gives your skin a little bit of luminosity without shine. So it's just going to give you that young, youthful glow that, of course, we all want. And then it might not be something you use every single day. So this is how we want you to start out. These are the best results. So when doing this, you want to make sure that you are keeping the stylus 4 finger widths away from your face. Now that might sound easy. That might sound like, why the heck did you tell me that? Of course. But we know traditional makeup up until this point. And so your tendency is to come in too close because we're used to touching our face, or because there's air, you do this. And so just watch yourself, move that stylus around. You do not have to hurry. You're never in one spot twice, but there is overlap, and you're just going to keep that. And then every so often check to make sure you're 4 finger widths away. The next step is you can put water in here and lightly pull back on this trigger and airbrush water on your face. That's going to show you how light you need to pull back. You are barely going to pull back and something is coming out. And then airbrushing water on your face just helps you experience it before moving to the foundation. Hey, Zandra, good to see you. Good morning, Luminess. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Judy. So good to see you. All right, so Judy, as I just saw you, I just remembered. And in fact, I'm going to write it down. I need to check the final seal product that we talked about yesterday. Mixed with eyes. I have to write it down because I forgot. All right. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about coverage. You know, we're always, when people first start, they're like, is this all I need? Do I just do foundation? Well, we do small classes twice a week, and the link is below if you want to do a small class with me. And we did that, or I talked to a lady, and she's like, okay, well, do I need concealer? Do I need her skin looked pretty good. And I was like, no, you could actually probably get the coverage that you're wanting with just the foundation. So not everybody needs a pre-coverage. Some like it. Some want to be like, bam, 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 and just get out of there. So it's up to you, and it's up to your skin, like what you want to cover, right? So we have, LUMINESS has has a lot of different products that can work as pre-coverage that kind of overlap depending on your need. So we do have X Out, which is our light. I wonder if we have that. Hold on one second. Let me see if I have. I don't know if I did one. I probably need to do one that has what I consider pre-coverage. No, we don't. Well, here, let me put this up here. Yeah, that kind of helps. Yeah, it kind of does. So with eraser is, it only comes in one shade. It's the lightest, the sheerest coverage, and you only put that where you need it. Any of the pre-coverage, you're going to only focus on the places that you need it. X Out would be the next step. And so X Out has, I think it's only 2 shades actually. And then it's going to be the next step in coverage. It's to X out dark circles. So you can use it under the eyes. With airbrushing, you're not going to worry about it as long as you're applying it correctly. Creasing underneath the eyes, things like that. And then the CC concealer does come in the 5 different shades. It's more of your flesh color, your skin color. It's going to give you full coverage, and you use that where needed, okay? The next one that's not on there is the peach color corrector. And I would put the peach color corrector and the CC concealer kind of hand in hand. I would jump back and forth between those. So, hey, hey, Celeste, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so the one that's not on, because those were airbrush, the one that was not on there is our concealers, our traditional concealers that we have. Guys, this is also going to give you full coverage. So if you do have certain things that you need to cover and you're like, I cannot get it, check out our concealers. Now, the one thing about these is once they are on, they do not move. So you will want to work in sections. Hey, Martin, you'll definitely want to work in sections because of the fact they don't move. One day I took out all of the concealers. Good morning, Pam. And I drew on my face how to contour. It was all I was like rubbing, and it was because they stay put, no movement. All right. So let's kind of go over where you can use it. This one is probably my favorite one. It's Buff. Buff has a peach undertone to it. So it's great for kind of a color corrector because it's good for dark circles. It's good for sunspots, any bruising, that kind of thing. So what I want to do is I'm going to put, and it has the doe foot, but again, this is traditional. So I definitely would do your traditional concealer first, and you're going to airbrush over that. So I'm going to put literally, that's probably too much. And I'm just going to tap it out. Remember, anytime if we have to touch our face, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I know there's a delay, so I'll wait. I'm going to tap this. And there we go. All right. So I just did a little bit on my, yes, tap it out. Dottie's got it. Hey, Dottie, how are you? Dottie's got it. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the powder, and I'm using our compact powder. If I can find my brush. Where's my brush? Here it is. Tap it out. Tap it out. So I just have a little bit of powder. I do that. And then I just dust. Oh, this is the other thing, guys. If you ever get, oh, Celeste, yes, girl, yes. If you ever get powder on you, so like I have a little bit of powder from just sweeping this a little bit, never rub it out. You want to pop it and it'll come out. Don't rub it because then it just smears, but you can shimmy it out, but just pop it off your clothes and it'll get out. Zandra even got tap, tap, tap. Yes, tap it out. So look how much that little dot that I did gave me that. I mean, look how flawless my lids look right now. I am going to grab the, because we're going to do a very neutral eye this day. And so I'm going to go in and I'm going to do, I'm going to do a very neutral all on my lid. Now, if you have 3 kids, a short step would be this traditional concealer that I'm going to show. Actually, I'll show you. The concealer I put on kind of lightened my lid anyway. Okay. So do I need this extra step? I'm going to do one eye one way and then the other one the other to show you. Okay. So now I'm going in with my blending brush and notice how light I am blending. I have some wiggle skin up here. Okay. But you are going to be blending so lightly that you don't have those wiggles. And we talked yesterday, if you need to, you can go in and lift up your eye like that. If you have more wrinkles and crinkles and you're like, I can't do that, just keep going like that, okay? You can lift it up just a little bit, all right? So I'm just doing one color in here. Now, this only has the concealer on it, right? So I could go in, and again, if you need to lift it up, and blend that. Kind of looks the same. So if you need to take less steps, you don't always need the neutral color. It looks super similar to me. Can y'all tell the difference? Back and forth. This one only has the color in the crease, and this one has 2. So I'm going to even them out just in case. Which really doesn't need a lot. And then I'll go in and blend this a little bit more. So if we need to take less steps, you can take more steps. You know, I always like to show you how to step it up, but dial it back. You don't always have to do, you know, bottom line is I love watching those YouTubers and they spend hours doing their makeup, but I have a 6-year-old. Celeste has 3 kids. Some people like to sleep in and are in a hurry. We don't always have to do 84 different steps for the eyes when getting ready. We should all have that go-to look that we can do in like 5 minutes. But honestly, there's ways to make us look put together and professional and spend 5-10 minutes on our makeup. Now from this, if I needed to, I could do something even a little bit darker just right here in the crease if I wanted to take that next step up, but I'm not today. So I'm just going to dust softly underneath the eyes. And now I'm going back to my concealer. Now, this is a traditional concealer. And so a lot of you started airbrushing because you don't want it to settle into wrinkles and crinkles. So your first instinct would be to take this doe foot, start here, boop, 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 right? We don't have to do that. Remember, or I'm sure you've heard me say time and time again, the first place you put the brush is where most of the makeup's going to go, especially when I'm talking about the eyes, right? That first spot is going to get most of the makeup. Same thing with the concealer. So I'm going to start down here and blend it to here because I don't have as many wrinkles right here to worry about. And notice I didn't go right into my eye. So now I'll take a blender and I can work it up there, but it's not going to settle. Now, another thing I do like to use sometimes, and I don't have a clean one here or I would, is a blending brush. You can take a blending brush and blend this concealer underneath as well. However, just tap it out, but do not pull on this part of your eye. Okay, so a little bit, look how much more awake I look. Oh, right? Not that I looked super tired, but look how brighter, right? You can tell the difference. Nothing. A little bit of concealer. Nothing. A little bit of concealer. All right. Outside. Working my way in. Do not need a lot, right? Just like with our airbrush makeup, you don't want to overdo it. Less is more. It's always easier to add than it is to remove. So always go lighter. Even when I'm doing makeup on somebody else, and there's a series of questions I'll ask to get their feel of what they're used to, so I don't overdo it, because I like to make people feel beautiful and still feel like themselves and not turn them into something they're not, right? And that's what we want to do with our makeup. So we want to look amazing, but where it still looks like you. And so I can blend this out. And now I have two bright eyes, right? And you can go in, because it is a cream base, I am going to go in and powder, but notice that I started at the bottom. Again, don't want to get a bunch of makeup on the inside. And so start at the bottom and blend it up. Okay, now I'm looking alive. I'll have a sip of coffee. That concealer is Buff. We have, I think there's 5, maybe more. There's a Crew. I'm going blank now. A Crew, Buff, Tawny. I'm going blank. We have plenty. Now, another little thing. Remember how we always talk about contouring and highlighting? We talk about contouring because what foundation's going to do is even you out, right? Foundation covers the flaws, it evens out the skin tone, and makes us what we call flat. Now, because I did the Buff underneath, that's going to give me some highlight. And so when I go to airbrush my foundation on, I won't go up all the way. I can go up till about right there just to blend everything together. So my eyes are still going to look highlighted. When we contour the jawline to make us look, and I'll contour here to hide some of that. Now, right here, a lot of us have these what call Mariette lines, where these lines might be a little deep, okay? Lines happen because of shadows, right? So now we're going to do the opposite of that and highlight it. And I know that sounds weird, but we can go in and do the reverse of what's happening. To give the illusion that I don't have those anymore, or they're not as prominent. See? Does that make sense? So now I'm just still in this area, which is a little bit stronger. I'm still tapping it out. Anytime you're going to touch your face, you're going to tap it out. All right. Now, let's go in. Let's do some blush. I have the soft rose. Let's do I have the natural? I'm going to shake my blushes up. And see, notice that like my face is lighter here. I did go here. I'll go over that with the airbrush. But it's just going to give you that illusion that I don't have those as strong of a Mariette line. So I am going to use the plum. And my little dropper is coming out. And I'm going to put a little bit of the natural blush. We talked about this yesterday. Jeannie loves to mix blushes. Jeannie is on here a lot. And you can mix anything that comes in an airbrush bottle, you can mix. And so if you need to create shades, if you need whatever you need to do, you can do that. So I have a little bit of plum blush and a little bit of the natural blush that I'm putting on first. So if I get a little blush happy, it's still going to blend. Let me make sure I got that. Yeah. And see how it's starting to come out? Now the natural blush does have a little bit of a shimmer to it, but it's very subtle. And the fact that I mixed it in with the plum will tone it down even more. They'll mix in together. Now I am going to rinse this out because I mixed two strong blushes together. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water and just rinse it out. Y'all are quiet today. Is everybody still awake? Or y'all go back to bed? Okay, now you can really see how that blush is blooming, right? So now I'm going to take my shade 3 in the Rose Foundation. Add my drops, turn it on. I'm going to spray my towel just to make sure that now I'm getting the foundation starting in one spot. And I love that smell. I love smelling that Bulgarian rose. Now I go in and I make one complete pass. Good morning, Suzanne. How are you? So that's one complete pass. Now, blush, still way too much, right? So I can now go in, now that I made one complete pass, focus on those areas that I need to cover. And then somebody asked me the other day about earrings. They're like, it gets in my earrings. That's going to help when you're getting better at the application. Make sure when you airbrush, you're airbrushing straight on and not to the side or not blowing. Make sure it's straight at your face. The other thing is, don't wear earrings when you're airbrushing, but you can put your hand over it. And that's good. Or just do this. If you need to at first, that's totally fine. But really concentrate on where you're feeling that air. Because wherever you feel the air, that is where the makeup's going to go. Now notice how the blush is starting to settle down. It's not as bright. And you just keep going until you get the coverage that you want. Now I'm done on my coverage. I have the coverage that hold on, guys. Make one slight move. All right. So now I have the coverage that I want. Now I can go in. I'm trying not to move. I'm going to use my Cut 1 palette. And my angled brush, and I do like to go through all of them. Oh, I love it. Cindy mixed some, she thought her eyeshadow was a bit overdone, and she used a couple of drops of the CC concealer to tone it down. I love it. Suzanne, how are you? Doing a little bit of contouring around my temples and around definitely here and definitely here. And then now I'm going to take, let me put lids on stuff because I know I'm going to knock something over. Awesome. Yay. So now I'm going to use the Persuasion eyeliner. I did super light on the eyes, and I could just add mascara and be done with it and be a good running around natural, you know, kind of everyday look. But again, if I wanted to take it up a notch, I can come in, I'm using the brown, and then looking down because that's going to stretch my eye. And I just drag it along the lash line. Tickle those lashes. Now, something this subtle can make a big difference. So you can go super light, or you can jazz it up a bit. But it does work best when looking down and just doing it right there. Oh, good. Zandra said she's learning so much today. I'm glad. So just right at that lash line, doing this. Hello, Rebecca. Good to see you. Doing this is going to thicken make your lashes look thicker. My mom actually uses the Temptation eyeliner, and she does it, and then she does little boop, boop, boop at the end to make her lashes look thicker. And so those are also little tricks that you can do. Now, if you wanted to take this up a notch, you can still stay thin here. But take it and cat it out. So either way, whatever you want, right? You want to be a little sassier today? It's hard to do this side when. And there we go. There's always one side that I can do better than the other, and it switches. Like it's not always my right, it's not always my left. It switches all the time. And then of course, I don't want to, but I got to. I use our Dusty Rose every single day. Every day. Even if I use a lipstick or a lip stain or even a vinyl slick, I still like the lip liners because I feel like it makes everything stay in place. Also, I feel like if one of it, like if the lipstick came off a little bit, I feel like it still gives me color to my lips because I fill them in. Well, Rebecca, how are you doing? Where are you, Rebecca? See, I'm filling them in. And if you want your lips to look fuller, don't do a big Cupid's bow. You can round that out a little bit so they look fuller. Now, you know what? Let's do a little bit of this too. A little bit of shimmer shimmer. So I'm taking the optics, I mix everything. Can do a little bit. I just like the shimmer. Okay, so that's a little bit strong on my nose. So I can take my powder brush, tone it down. Good morning, Amber. And tone that down just a little bit. Another thing that I do, if I do highlight under here and the difference between my highlight and my color is too powerful, like if it's too much of a change, like too dramatic, I will take the contour brush that I used to do some contouring and kind of blend that in so it kind of blends everything together. I don't have to start over. I don't even have to airbrush over that. I can do it all together. And then I'll take a little bit of my Ballet Pink. Oh, went above the line. There we go. And then, of course, I'm going to finish with some mascara. Curl first. Grab my mascara, and I will be done. Make the mascara face. But see what a difference. Muzi, how are you? Mary Lynn, you wish you had full lips. Guys, you can give the illusion of fuller lips. You can line on the outside of the lip, little tricks like that as far as not doing much of a Cupid's bow, like rounding that out will also make your lips look fuller. If you have a thinner upper lip, definitely line on the, I'm not saying have space in between it, but definitely line on that top part of the lip. All right. All right, I'm going to finish my mascara and I will be good to go. Muzi, so good to see you. I'm glad you jumped on and said hello. Guys, have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Yay. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for our hump day. Ooh. Suzanne says, I wear lashes every day and I use my airbrush to dry the glue. I love that. I love it. That's what, yeah, that is a great idea. Because when you put fake lashes on, that glue does need to get tacky. So she uses her airbrush to help dry that glue faster. And that's a great, great idea. Good morning, Ruby. Nice to see you. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.